Welcome back to Hunting with Heather. We are going to look at some of the things that I've picked up at estate sales recently. I don't know if it's anything crazy, but it's some fun stuff. I don't actively look for estate sales, I just kind of find them. We just drive by the sign and I make bad choices and drive right through traffic, left-hand turn through and go hit that. I actually prefer to go on the last day. Our estate sales typically have insane prices and they're very, usually very dirty, and I am very allergic to dust. Like break out in hives, kind of allergic to dust. Here's just a few things that we've picked up recently. So our most recent one was just around the corner from our house. I don't know that I'd call it an estate sale as a moving sale, but he called it an estate sale, so I'm going to call it an estate sale. We got these ASICs, Solution Speed FF. They're in really good, clean condition. He wanted $1, and they can go anywhere from $30 to $50. And based on their condition, I'll probably list them at $40. You know, that seems fair. Also, he had this Samsung VCR DVD player. It does not have a remote, but it does turn on. So we might get a universal and see if we can't get her to power up and play some movies for us. It was $7, and there is one that just sold without its remote for $70. If we get a remote, we'll just throw it in. When we went to pick up the stuff from our last video, was free curbside pickup, on the way to her house, we passed an estate sale, and so we stopped and went in. And it was very picked over, but there were still tons of people there, and it was Sunday. It was winding down. I think they were closing in like an hour, and there was probably 25 people in that house. But we went down in the basement, and we found this dinner set. It's metal. It's vintage, obviously, from the 1950s. It's called Western Ware, hand-painted longhorn steer plates and cups. And so it's got these, obviously, there's a little bit of a glare, but if you look at the longhorn, it also has sort of a butterfly look to it, and the plates match. And it has, a little more decor on the outside, but there's 8 plates and 8 cups. Oh, crap. There are active sold comps for this. We paid $25 for all of it, and if we break it up into 2 cups, 2 plates, and sell it like that, it should sell for about $140. That should be what we take away from that. Talking about dirty houses, I went to this really cool house, and it was it was almost hidden. It was hidden. I didn't know it was there. It was completely surrounded by growth and very isolated on a busy street, on a busy corner, and you would never know it was there. I did check that out. I almost left without anything, but because it was so dusty and I was already starting to feel itchy. But while I was upstairs, I found this shirt in the last room in the closet. And as a 1985 Pacific Ocean button down. I can't find any that match this one with the front pocket like that. The paint splatter, which I remember from my childhood. This was $5, and I should be able to sell it for $75. Vintage Ocean Pacific shirts are selling, but there aren't any with this look. And it's very clean. It's got a couple of stains, but there's no rips, there's no tears, there's no bad seams, and it's just got a little right here. So other than that, she is a beauty. I was on my way out and I found 2 more things. This is a Gen 1 My Little Pony. It is Sparkle Baby Starflower. Now she has had some work done to her hair, and her butt is dirty. Sorry. and I don't know what it is or how it got there, but when I pull up other My Little Ponies, the same pony, they all seem to have a dirty bottom on the inside, not on the outside. And she was 50 cents, and she should sell for about 10 bucks. But I had Gen 1 My Little Ponies, and hindsight being 2020, I probably should have stopped my mother from yard saling all of my toys as a child and keeping the money. I typically don't go for breakables, but I look at them, you know, especially mugs. But I saw these glasses that said the Boston Marathon, and there was a set of 6, and it's just the course, you know, with the mile markers and runners and whatnot. They're vintage from 1977. They're James F. Fix. They were 6 for $6. They should resell for about $90. There are none listed. There are 2 sold, recently sold. I look forward to getting those listed. I think that's it for estate sales. They're pretty slim pickings here, and I'm not going to fight anybody in a dirty house because, again, allergies. But I think those are some pretty good finds. Out of all of it, I think really the kill of the week is going to be these Boston Marathon glasses. Just because how cool they are and how well preserved they are. They obviously were never in a dishwasher. If they were used at all, they might have been decorative. And this guy had other runner merch in his house, so he probably was a marathoner. And but these are really not things that look cool to me, and so I grabbed them. The rest of this stuff, these are cashmere sweaters from a yard sale, and these are from a Goodwill haul, which I look forward to going over that because our last couple of Goodwill hauls have been really great. And shout out to the Goodwill employees for dropping stuff right next to me that didn't go where it was supposed to. I just kind of thought she was handing it to me without directly handing it to me. But we'll talk about that next week. Y'all have a good day and happy hunting.